Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L, and today let's talk some My Hero Academia. So, title of the video, this video is going to be centered around me pretty much selling you guys on the idea of watching another series after My Hero Academia is over. After all, the last episode, depending on when you're watching this, the last episode is coming in a few hours, and after that, no more My Hero Academia till the next season, and season 3 has been confirmed. If you guys would like a video explaining why season 3 is so hype, let me know down below, but it's really not that big of a deal. It's just season 3 of My Hero Academia. Probably going to be like the best season, but not the point. Again, the point here is me selling you on another series in case you are looking for something else to watch to tide you over on My Hero Academia. I am going to be making another video along this line, but I'm going to be covering different series that I would recommend if you like My Hero Academia. Keep an eye out for that. But yeah, this video is for pretty much the anime viewers who just finished My Hero Academia and just want to watch something else just to pass your time somehow. That's who this video is a guide for, pretty much. So the series that we're going to talk about is Black Clover. It's going to be one of the new Shonen anime coming up in fall. I'll put the actual date in the description down below. I didn't look it up beforehand, apologies. But Black Clover. So here's how this is gonna work. Black Clover, I'm gonna explain it to you, sell it to you guys, and then I'm gonna get objective about it and specifically tell you guys some of the stigma that Black Clover has among certain fans of anime, and then you guys can just make your conclusion from there and check it out if you want and not check it out if you don't want. Well, why am I even bothering to show you guys Black Clover? Well, see, it and My Hero Academia are brewed from the same pot. There are two dishes that come from the pot that is Weekly Shonen Jump. And like dishes, they are of varying flavors and quality. So what's Black Clover about? I'll just read you the description because that's the only way I can avoid serious spoilers, and just say, Asta is a young boy who dreams of becoming the greatest mage in the kingdom. Only one problem, he can't use any magic. Luckily for Asta, he receives the incredibly rare 5-leaf Clover grimoire. Okay, receives is that's a bit misleading. Anyway, that gives him the power of anti-magic. Can someone who can't use magic really become the Wizard King? One thing's for sure, Asta will never give up. Alright, so that's like the basic description. Overall, to sum it up, this is a story that takes place in a fantasy world where magic rules, and the magic system that they work on is magic derived from the magic grimoires that people receive. Okay, it's a magic series. It's not like My Hero Academia that's rooted in the modern world. This is a fantasy world. And the main gimmick of the main character is that he's using a power that cancels out everyone else's magic. So it's pretty much like the kid goes into a gunfight with a sword, but he somehow forces the gun to not work, effectively rendering the other guy in a pretty screwed position. So okay, let's be simple and do straight comparisons to My Hero Academia. If you like a big cast of characters, Black Clover packs that as well, and it develops its characters over time by giving them arcs that revolve around them. If you like action, Black Clover packs that a lot too. It's a hard battle shonen, so you'll get your fill if that's what you want. If you like mystery, there is some of that, but we might not get the full brunt of it in this season. It'll be interesting to see whether or not they pull it off. Now, note, I didn't say anything about the main characters and any comparisons between them, namely Izuku and Asta, and this leads me to the stigma of Black Clover. So the thing with Black Clover is that it is a hard traditional shonen, especially when it comes to the main character. In other words, this means that they're gonna use every trick in the book for the genre, and it all starts with Asta. Now on paper, Asta and Izuku are similar in their goals and their never give up attitude. Izuku wants to be the #1 hero and puts himself in danger to help others. Asta wants to be the Wizard King and puts himself in danger to save others. The difference here is really in the execution, and that difference is the same as the difference between a feather lightly brushing your face and taking a punch to the face. My Hero Academia ends up being a much more nuanced affair a bit during the first season, and then a ton once it gets past its first season. Black Clover, however, is going hard, and you can really tell with the character of Asta. His whole identity is based around the fact that he never gives up. His rhetoric is all based around never giving up. It's actually kind of amazing how they were able to just take that quality and distill it to create a character that is just the concentrated manifestation of that attitude. It's really astounding when you actually start watching it. And you know, you might be swayed by that. That personality trait, however, is what people would end up calling the stereotypical shonen protagonist, and Asta doesn't really make that many efforts to reinvent those traits, at least in the beginning of Black Clover. And then he goes and gets put in situations that would be called cliché by the standards of the genre, simply because Asta's gonna go and he's gonna try to power through them in the same way that other shonen heroes have tried to do it before him. However, this is much more prevalent in the beginning, and that's for good reason, because that's what the formula required. Black Clover is super formulaic in both its main character and initial story structure, but this is a case where it had to be. The author needed a victory, the magazine wanted a victory, so they used the formula that would work. See, in Shonen Jump there's a pattern. If a series isn't popular at the get-go, it will be most likely cancelled between chapter 15 and chapter 30. How late into that period it'll get cancelled depends if the series is able to survive a little, like if it's able to have a spike at some point. Unless of course it's remarkably unpopular from the very beginning, in which case it will be axed relatively quickly. Chapter 15 to chapter 30, that is the danger zone. Usually you shouldn't count on a series being a stayer if it hasn't gotten past chapter 30. Black Clover did really well, however. Nowadays, it almost always ranks better than Food Wars, and it tends also to be in the top 7 within the magazine's rankings. It played the tricks of its genre because those were the tricks that worked at the time. And you might ask, but hey, if people are complaining about the main character being cliché, why didn't Japanese readers complain too? And it's simply because there's always new readers. Look, especially on YouTube, the people you're going to be hearing these complaints from are people who have seen a lot of different anime series. If you are a casual viewer who only has a few series that you've ever watched, the cliche argument, it won't really work on you. It won't really have that much of an effect on you, and that's what ended up happening with the manga readers. Right now in Shonen Jump, Black Clover's main competition in terms of legit shonen battle manga are One Piece, My Hero Academia, and Hunter x Hunter. And you can discount Hunter x Hunter because it's always on hiatus. And within those competitors, the only character that you can make a serious comparison with Asta to is Luffy. And even then, like, Asta just plays it harder. He plays a harder Luffy than Luffy. So what you end up getting is that Black Clover is thriving in a time where the stereotypical battle shonen protagonist isn't running rampant, which ultimately worked out in its favor. But hey, there are other series that tried the hard shonen formula and still failed, which leads into Black Clover's balancing act, because you can't just have shonen stereotypes being played all the time. So while Black Clover's main character might be every trick in the book with his personality, the characters that surround him are actually really interesting. The Driver in particular is amazing, just because he actually cares. He's a legit nice guy, and you don't really get that often in Shonen. Like, look at Naruto, you had Naruto and Sasuke. Look at My Hero Academia, you have you have Izuku and Bakugo. That's not a nice combination. And then in Black Clover, you have this guy who's just legitimately cares about his childhood friend. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of refreshing. Then you go into the main supporting cast, and there you have Black Clover's main group. They're characterized as being misfits. So while on first glance they might seem loud, once you go through their character arc, you can appreciate their quirks. They're designed to be different, and those differences are going to be hitting you in the face again, but you can appreciate the differences. So see, with Black Clover, once it got past the danger zone, it started taking a few more risks, and it paid off. Yeah, the events that Asta's involved with, they have a certain flavor that you might be used to if you watch a lot of anime, but Black Clover was able to make a few memorable characters and establish some really interesting mysteries, and also have some pretty epic wars. And heck, Asta is kind of charming after a point. Like, he is kind of cool to watch every now and again. Black Clover was ultimately designed with a purpose, and that was to appeal. So if you're a casual viewer who wants to be entertained, you could give this a shot, because it is designed to make you want to watch it. So we're pretty much getting to the end of the video. One last thing I want to say is about My Hero Academia and Black Clover. So just for a quick history lesson, the My Hero Academia creator, he went through 2 series where he failed pretty much until he hit on My Hero Academia. And if you read up some of his interviews, you know, he talks about how hard of a time that was for him. The Black Clover guy, he had another series before Black Clover. It was called Hungry Joker, and that series was one that people praised to some degree, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't popular. The system that it was in just doomed it. It was not going to be popular. So both of these guys are veterans who have had their share of failures. One who failed after making a relatively unique series and then just went full on in the safe formula until he could get to a point where he could stand on his own, and another who started off pretty simple and then just was able to explode into something that is My Hero Academia today. They're contemporaries that have struggled together, and I think one of the nicest things is, like, look at this picture, right? This is a picture of the Black Clover characters in the My Hero Academia artist style, and this is a picture of the My Hero Academia characters in the Black Clover style. I really enjoyed this little image here because it shows the camaraderie between the authors, and these guys are pretty much rivals at the very least. Check it out if just to respect the rivalry between the authors. And you know, this is a sappier point, but if you're at the end of the video, I assume you're people that care about the topic, so I figured an appeal to the emotions would maybe grease the wheels a little bit. But overall, closing thoughts, Black Clover, it's a simple show. It's much more simple than My Hero Academia. However, it boasts a large cast. It has a refreshing dynamic between the two rivals, or the main character and his rival. And because it's based on a formula, that formula is one made for mass appeal. Chances are you will find something that you could enjoy in this series, especially if you're new to anime, because you will not have been exposed to the overabundance of cliches that Black Clover employs in the first run of its few arcs. But guys, if you are someone that doesn't like dealing with a lot of shonen cliches or cliches from the genre, you know, really just don't worry about it. But Black Clover, a simple ride, it'll be fun. 12 episodes, 12 or 13 episodes. And yeah, let me know if you feel like you want to check it out. I hope I've done a good enough job to sell you on it. But this is just really respecting the guys that came from the same magazine, just watching their shows and whatnot. So do keep on the lookout for a more serious video on, like, my 5 serious recommendations on what I would definitely give you guys based on what My Hero Academia does. Keep an eye out for that. But till next time, guys, I hope you have a great day, and yeah, have fun with My Hero Academia finale if you haven't already seen it.